Hello everyone and welcome to another stream. How's it going? YouTube, Twitch, hope you're doing well. If you're on YouTube, give the stream a like if you would, I'd appreciate it. Let's see what's going on in the chats. Glad you guys could make it. I know we're a little early today, but I was feeling like it was time for a stream, so. Rated S for Satanic. Funny. Halloween Town, 5-stream streak. Your streak is immeasurable. Twitch cannot process it. It's true. It's true. OMG, it's Hannah. I know. I'm surprised too. So anyway, yeah, today we're watching a documentary, quote unquote, about the gaming industry and how it's satanic. It isn't, of course, but you know, it's like a satanic panic video, so we'll have fun watching it, laughing at it, pointing out where it's wrong, and probably some pretty decent media illiteracy. So let's jump right into it. Is it a new hoodie? No, I've worn it before. It's the cat one. Kitty. It's got, a hood with, like, ears on it, too. It's kind of cute. Wanted to be cozy today. We're going cozy vibes. So anyway, let's get into it, shall we?
Games actually make more money than movies at this point.
Actually, I might speed it up at some point, but let's start at normal speed. So it started with him saying games actually make more movies than, or more money than movies now, which is true. The gaming industry makes more money than the film industry, in large part because the products, you know, they sell them for $60, $70 instead of however much you pay for streaming or a movie ticket.
Which is why I went that route, because I could see how big these things were getting, how interactive. And I knew that, well, for one thing, they're more fun to work on than a movie. I spent about 3 days just doing the fire for one movie, and I was bored out of my mind, just putting, you know, torches and fires and all that. Oh, so boring. Then you do body falls, and then you do this, and it's so boring to do movies. But games, you have this sort of empty palette, you know, with sounds that have never been heard before.
Okay, so this guy's full of shit. I'm calling it now. He comes off like one of those ex-Satanist types. Like, you know how at evangelical churches or whatever, sometimes you'll get the speaker who comes in, they're like, I was in the Satanic church for 30 years, and I saw children murdered every week. You know, they make shit up because they're a grifter who go to evangelicals and tell them what they want to hear so that they, you know, can grift, basically. Sounds like that. This guy sounds like that. The implication that, and apparently he's a sound designer, the implication that you're doing very different sound effects for games than movies, I find to be suspect. Like, no, games have a lot of the same stuff, you know, action, adventure, fantasy. I just find it a little ignorant for him to say that there's that big of a difference in what sound effects he's making for games versus movies. It's just bullshit. Stromboli says, funny you're doing satanic stuff today. I got my TST, the Satanic Temple membership card today. They sent me the wrong person's card. Now I'm going to pretend I'm redacted whenever I'm up to no good and want to leave a calling card. Heathen Child, thanks for 19 months. Xandrus with 40 months says, 40 months down and many more to go. Let's dig into some conspiracy bullshit. And DM Trey says the sweater looks super comf. It is.
And so that's kind of like, it's an empty piece of art that you get to create, you know? So
Again, that doesn't make sense. Like, if you're doing sound design for a video game, you're being given direction still. Like, you're not making a game on your own. That doesn't make any sense. You're gonna be handed, like, things, like, here's what we came up with. Here are the design documents. Make these. They're not just going to tell you make whatever sounds you want. This sounds like a Tommy Tallarico story. Like, it doesn't sound like he's worked in the game industry. DM Traces. Oh, read that.
I was really good at monsters, and I was really good at blood and gore and all that stuff. When you are...
He starts just blatantly lying here in a minute, to be clear.
hearing these monsters or these zombies or whatever it is that you're hearing, some scream, some roar, some screech, like in the Alien movies, right? What are you actually hearing? I want you to think about this for a minute. All of you.
Chat, what stupid lie do you think he's going to make right now? What's the stupidest lie you could tell that would immediately make, like, a normal person go, oh, you're full of shit? What is he gonna say about this? Not demons. It's not demons.
What are you hearing? What are you hearing when you hear these roar? Why would an animal roar? Why would an animal screech? You see, what we do, or what I used to do, when we wanted to go and get sounds, for instance,
Lilac Rosenberg says, could I recommend you as a guest on a podcast that covers conspiracies, or would that be parasocial? I'm okay with that. Go for it.
gorilla makes an incredible roar for a dragon, right? Or a tiger or a lion. A bear, right? So we have all this big catalog of screams and roars, but what do we have to do to get that? Do we go out in nature and just hope that the bear does that? No, we go to a zoo or some animal holding place for the pound for dogs, etc. In order to get those sounds, you have to poke and prod and torture these animals.
No! Believe it or not, like, you can record animals making noises while not doing that. Like Chewbacca, for instance, like the Chewbacca noise is layered sounds of like a grizzly bear and what other things, like a cougar and different things. You can literally just record. I don't think anyone needs to ever go get more animal noises ever again. 83% to level 1 on the hype train. Did he admit to torturing animals? Sounds like it. This isn't how Foleying works. This isn't how sound design works. Like, even from a sociopathic point of view, that doesn't make economic sense. If you were in charge of making a demon sound for a game, and you tell your boss, hey, can I have the budget to go down to the zoo and book some time to go torture some animals, which apparently the zookeepers are going to be fine with me doing for some reason? They're going to say, no, get it off the internet. Like, that's not even if you're evil, that's not an economic way to make your video game. You're not going to go out and create boutique animal torture noises for the demons. We have bespoke animal abuse sound effects in this game. We think it breaks new ground. Skippazoa with 100 bits. Poetic Fox, you can get my little dog to make horrid goblin noises just by playing tug of war with her.
You're hearing the absolute suffering and pain of these animals. You're hearing a captive animal who is being tortured, essentially, to get the sound. I'll give you an example. When you want a really good, high-pitched screech that you would put to the Alien movies, for instance.
Oh god, this example in particular is pretty hypocritical, I would assume, but we'll talk about it in a sec. Stromboli says, fun fact, the sound of Godzilla's original roar was made by harshly rubbing an electric guitar with hardened, resin-coated glove because Godzilla isn't a natural animal, he's man-made.
You go and record pigs getting castrated. They don't give them any kind of Novocaine or anything to numb their pain. They just snip, snip.
Okay, so here's the thing. Are you a vegan? Because, like, I promise you, no one in the world is castrating a pig specifically to get sound effects for a video game. If anyone is recording any pigs being castrated, it is because they are already doing that for agricultural purposes. And I'm not a vegan, I'm not a vegetarian. So, like, I recognize I am also participating in a system that hurts animals. But, like, do you? Like, do you think that the video game industry is why pigs get castrated every day? Like, do you think that millions and millions of pigs are being produced and living in factory. Procagom says this man saw Cannibal Holocaust and mistook it for video games somehow.
Well, and do not, there's no empathy
Clockwork Van, thanks for gifting a sub.
whatsoever towards these beautiful, beautiful creatures.
Apparently YouTube's being weird.
They cause them pain, and we're there with our boom mics to record, and our shotgun mics to record that pain. And you get these you're hearing in these video games, but what you're really hearing is the suffering, the pain, the absolute anguish of these beautiful creatures who are held captive and tortured. Now, to me,
by the way, I need an Ethernet cord because I did find an Ethernet port for my computer, so I just need to go get an Ethernet cord.
that is enough to stop playing video games. That is enough to say I can't do this, and I can't participate in this horror.
Like an Ethernet cord, like tomorrow I'll run out and get one if I need to, but I think I'm gonna stop the stream on YouTube for today and continue just on Twitch. Because, like, this keeps happening, and I don't know why, but it seems to not happen nearly as much when I'm just on Twitch. So I'm going to do that. Don't go anywhere. Just going to end and restart the stream without YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. Check me out on Twitch. I will, again, once I get the Ethernet cord, go back to simul streaming, which would be, you know, a day or so. Okay? Cool. Alright, be back in just a sec. Twitch. Don't go anywhere.